So, I have a tuxedo cat named Ozzy, right? And he's my little baby that drives me crazy at times, but is overwhelming love just outweighs everything else. Okay. Now, this is dedicated to all the cat ladies and daddies out there. Right. So, the journey of me losing part of my bachelorness started with me going to the cat shelter every day for 2 months. And it came to a point where I started buying toys and one of those like cat treats that look like Go-Gurts. But they smell like that chicken at the sea or Starfish, whatever brand they use. I mean, if you like tuna fish sandwich or salad, I mean, I'm sorry, but it tastes like cat food. Anyway, so I started doing that, and eventually I caved in. I adopted Ozzy, and now I can honestly say that he's probably one of the smartest cats out there, because I asked him, "What is 2 minus 2?" And he said nothing. I just moved to Ketchikan. Before I moved to Ketchikan, I used to look up in Barrow for a couple of years. And asked me why it's really cold up there. Like, if you know what an ultra cold freezer feels like for those like COVID vaccines, it feels worse. But anyway, so my impression of Ketchikan is that it's very, like family friendly. Hey, what's up, man? Gonna come watch? So my impression of Ketchikan is this. Like, this is very family friendly. It's such a great community to be in. And an example of that is that when I go into work, most of my coworkers are moms, right? And these are moms of like elementary school students and middle school students. And when I saw like a couple of them matriculate from elementary to middle school, right? I started hearing talks about, I can't find the name. Turned in his homework on for this class. I can see it on Power School. He would have gotten an A if he just turned in his homework. Whatever, but one thing that came to mind was when one of my coworkers, she told me that her kid was starting to learn rational numbers and imaginary numbers. Now, I don't know what that is. So, my initial thought of what imaginary numbers were numbers that weren't real. And rational numbers are numbers that are not irrational. And of course, that was kind of a dumb response, right? So I Googled what an irrational number was, and it turned out that, it has a very tasty side to it, because if you know what pi is, right? Pi is irrational. Because the decimal is so mad, and there's no pattern. But just to process what pi is, you'll never finish that slice. It's like a dessert that never ends. You'll just eventually get sick of it. Not that this makes me sick personally, but how many of you have little brothers or are little brothers themselves? All right. Well, okay. So I have a question. How many of you guys like octopuses? All right. So octopus, they are slimy, they're chewy, and they stick to you no matter what. So the next time you think about eating an octopus, just think about this. It's just like eating your little brother. Yeah, and also a little bit about me.
What's that?
Why does
part of what I do,
Yeah, no. He's
well, it's not really what I do, it's what I have to do in order to become what I am today is I have to analyze studies, right? So I'm a pharmacist, and during my training, I had to analyze studies just to validate if it's legitimate or not. So one of the studies that I read was that I read that there was a study on like how surgeons who play video games when they were younger tend to make fewer errors in surgery. So what that means to me, right, and what that should mean to you, is that if your surgeon didn't play Call of Duty or Minecraft, well, it's up to you. But I mean, look, like in a surgery, you make some errors. Chances are you could live, or you could be lights out, game over, right? But I did some searching on this, right? And you know what I found out? In games like Call of Duty or whichever games that brings you happiness, there's always grace. There's always a chance to respawn. So you can die as many times as you want, right? So this study doesn't mean anything to me. But what does matter is, for me, if I were to get a surgery, right, it doesn't matter what it is. Maybe like a wisdom tooth removal, I don't know. I would rather have someone who spent their entire lives playing Hasbro's famous board game called Operation. Alright? Because there's no grace there. You're going to hear a screaming man with the lights, with the red light that goes off. Sort of like a screaming Rudolph, right? Yeah. Well, oh my God, this is. You might have noticed how I put my phone down. It's not because I was feeling it and I was going to go off on it. It was actually because I pressed something wrong and all my notes disappeared. For me personally, I'm not the greatest essay writer, right? But even if I were to try, it would take me 2 days, and maybe I'll go for a C, right? But this took me 3 weeks. I really tried for you guys. Sorry, I'm just looking at all the desserts in my spot. Isn't that what you brought? I don't see anything. I'm not kidding. Sorry, that was just me talking, you guys. Alright, well, anyways, just so you know, I am the last act before intermission, which means visitor. Anyways, thank you so much. This is Peter.